I think that the least popular GCSE subjects to take are any type of language and art, and I think this is because languages are so much content to learn, so much vocab to learn, and I don't think people can handle the pressure. And again, with art, it's a lot of pressure on you, and you've got to get all your coursework done on time, and the final exam's so long that people just can't be bothered.
Latin and computer science. Now, Latin does look quite hard, but I assure you, it's easy once you know what is going on and you learn your set vocab list and your grammar. Computer science has a lot of theory in it, which is why I think it's unpopular, but the questions in the end are very straightforward, so it's definitely worth considering these GCSEs to have a go at, probably.
Maybe DT? I mean, at my school there's not actually a lot of people that take DT, so I think that's probably not as popular. There's not many people that take music in my year. I take music, but there's only really like one class of about 20, so it's not as many as like maybe art or drama or things like that. I don't know about languages, because at my school you can only really take French, German or Spanish, but they all seem quite popular, so.
I'd say at my school music was quite unpopular because people heard the content was really hard. The class was probably about 4 people in our school year, so not very popular at all. But obviously it depends on what you like.
I think when I did mine, which was only 2 years ago, probably music was probably the least popular, and I think that's just because I feel like a lot of people feel you've got to be very, very talented in that sort of thing. But I think what a lot of people don't realise is like loads of people take humanities, but then loads of people also really, really dislike them when they start. So in forms of like what is unpopular to take, probably music, but what is unpopular in general, I think a lot of people really discovered that they didn't like humanities very much at all, didn't realise how like taxing the way and how hard it was to do.
History. I think people thought that it would be quite easy going because teachers were always nice, you know, they'd always be there to help you. But when you got to GCSE, that was not the case. It was hard, teachers were strict, there was so much work. You know what, I don't even want to think about it, it was that bad. I'm so happy that I didn't have to do it again, or I didn't take it forward.
Either languages, just because everyone knows that they are really, really difficult, and a lot of like people say, oh, don't take a language because it's so hard. I also think PE is a difficult one because you have to be really sporty to be able to do PE, and you've got to have like an interest in it, and you've also got to love a sport. So I think them ones are kind of the hardest ones. History and geography are probably the least liked, but some people have to take them as like a typical BTEC subject.
Food tech, and I took food tech mainly because I thought that's a career I wanted to go down, but not many people liked it, and many people said it was because of the teacher or because of the workload or the fact that they just didn't want to cook. Yeah, there's only one class which has got around 14 people in, half of which don't actually do anything.
I think the least favourite GCSE subjects are actually maths and history. Maths just because it's maths, and like not everyone really likes maths. It's quite a hard subject, especially like in the exams. I also think history is one of the least favourites just because it's so heavy content, and in the exam you need to remember so many dates and so many names. Like I did history GCSE, and honestly I kept getting mixed up between names because there was like a Robert Lister and a Robert Liston.
Latin, I think that's just because there are a lot of work, like with grammar and vocabulary, but I chose to carry on French at my school and I don't regret it at all. I just find that even though it is a lot of work, I mean, it's worthwhile having a language.
At my school, we had travel and tourism, which only I think 3 people took it, so they had to drop it. And also product design. I think them two are pretty unpopular purely because not many schools actually offer it. Also, I think psychology is unpopular unless your school takes it. My school didn't take it and didn't offer it until until our year.
A language, for definite. Literally, when we were discussing options, nobody wanted to take it. I took it and I'm glad I did. Everyone seems to hate them, like they don't want to put the effort in to learn a completely different language. And when we had to do it for year 7, 8 and 9, everybody just didn't really enjoy it, so they didn't carry it on for year 10 and 11. And then also computer science, that isn't very popular. I don't know if that's because of the teachers that teach it, or because people just don't seem to find that interesting, and maybe that's not the career path they want to take.